Okay, so I'm taking a class. It's called Business Communications, and I did a research report on international business. An introduction. I have a quote from the CEO of Zappos. His name's Tony Hayes. This quote is, "For me, the most fun in change or growth, there are elements of both that I like. Launching a business is kind of like a motorboat. You can go very quickly and turn fast." What he means by that is a business can get developed very quickly, and it can also turn for like the best or the worst. So sometimes your business can be very successful, and sometimes things can go completely opposite, and a lot of things could fall apart that you didn't imagine. So the purpose of my report is to provide research from companies looking to expand internationally, and to help provide a background of how running a business is in different countries in different parts of the world. The scope. The scope of the report is to cover important facts about the research that I found and what exactly expanding internationally means and what it can do for your business. Some of my primary sources are I just searched up business articles, and I used a website called businessnewsdaily.com. Some of my secondary resources were I used a book, and it was called Global Tilt. And the book was about a guy who basically just talked about how running a business and expanding it can help develop their income and their success. The book was called Global Tilt, and it was about leading your business through the great economic power shift. Other secondary sources that I use are reports by professionals in the business world, and one of the reports was named "Advantage of Doing Business Overseas," and he talked about how he ran a business overseas and gave me good examples and facts about what can happen when expanding overseas. The other secondary resource I used was called Changing the Global Environment, and basically how you can impact economies and environments overseas depending on what sort of business you take over into other countries. Going global. Other cultures. So understanding other cultures is important when expanding your business. Depending on what sort of business you have, it might not work in different cultures depending on their beliefs, for example. And the next topic is people's beliefs. Some people, depending on their personal beliefs or religion, your business might not work during that company. Like for example, like if you provide a pork company and you expand into Muslim countries, well, Muslims, their religion is they don't eat pork. So running a business that is a pork company would obviously not work in cultures and like that because of people's beliefs. Here's a chart I have about people in their average. This is like the first 3 years of running a business. The top shows staying local, and the bottom shows going global. So their local business grew faster than when they expanded internationally. But this is only the first 2 years. You may run into this issue. So making sure you have the financial ability to expand and possibly not gain as much profit as you like the first couple of years. So this is the result of what could happen. World economics, understanding the developed world, and emerging markets. So basically, I found research on how the world is developing in different countries and how markets are emerging, where businesses can grow and hope for growth in different markets around the world. Foreign exchange, understanding in international capital markets, Foreign exchange rates were fixed by an agreement among the world's central banks called Bretton Woods Accord. Before the foreign exchange currency, like for American dollars, they didn't know how to do an exchange rate for different countries around the world, and this bank basically made a finalized agreement for a currency exchange. Venture capital is early investments made at the beginning of a company's growth. This is the US dollar climbing higher against other world currencies. So the US dollar is, in some countries it's worth less, in some countries it's worth a lot more in different parts of the world. Exporting and importing, that's just basically people ordering different products from around the world and getting them imported and exported through different companies. Countertrade is used as a payment. So when you do business with another company internationally or inside your home country, it's a way of providing a service without using a payment. So you just trade, you basically counter trade like products or services instead of using currency. Global sourcing is a well-designed sourcing can generate substantial savings for a company, up to 10 to 15% in the first year if you use global sourcing to your advantage. Foundations for international business, human role and human relationships. Basically what that means is making friends and representing your company like as a good human can help generate business. Building relationships with other company owners is very important to show who's representing the company, and it will help people want to do more business with you. To wrap this up, I will be showing you, this is a survey that I created. And the survey says, how would you describe a difficulty of managing an international business? I had 32 people take this survey, and 72% said it was pretty excessive, can be quite difficult running an international business. 16% said it was moderate, they could handle it. 7% said that it's actually not that difficult if you are prepared and do your research before you expand. 2% said it was pretty mild, and 3% said it was severe. So overall, most people said it was excessive, which is basically pretty difficult, but can be done. Thank you for watching my presentation.
How long was that?